Have you ever found yourself wanting companionship, but not wanting the complications that often come with it? You miss the conversations, you miss the dates, you miss the hugs, the touches, well, I miss the smell of that other person, you know. I'm pretty sure you do too. But at the same time, you worked hard to build a life of peace, and you're not sure you're willing to disrupt it. If that's you, then today's episode is made just for you and me as well. So let's get started. Mm. Well, thanks for joining me. Today, I'm talking about something deeply personal, but I suspect many of you can relate. I haven't been in a relationship in 4 years. Now, before you start feeling bad for me, please understand that being single hasn't been all that bad. In many ways, it's given me peace, independence, and time to focus on myself. But if I'm honest, there are moments when loneliness knocks on the door. You see, I miss companionship, miss having someone to look forward to seeing. I miss the excitement of planning dates and spending quality time together. But despite missing those things, I'm hesitant, very hesitant, to enter into another relationship. And today, I want to explore why. And again, maybe you can relate with some of this stuff as well, though. First up, one of the biggest reasons I'm reluctant to date right now is because life already feels complicated. Like many people, I have financial concerns. I have physical health concerns. I have mental health concerns. The truth is, relationships require energy. They require emotional investment. They require time and attention. And sometimes I wonder if I have enough left over after dealing with my own challenges. And let's be honest, relationships do not magically eliminate problems. When two people come together, they're bringing two sets of struggles, two sets of insecurities, and two sets of baggage. So I often ask myself, am I prepared to help carry someone else's burdens while carrying my own? That's not cynicism, that's realism.
I really don't care for relationships no more. I really don't because I feel like now, this generation, you got so many rules with it. It's so many rules with it, but it's not hard to be loyal though. You know what I'm saying? It's not hard to cherish one person. It's not hard. I ain't finna lose myself again. I lost myself mentally, trying to give myself to that energy, and I couldn't. You feel what I'm saying? And I really cried. Like I cried. I cried about what's wrong with me.
Would you say you loved her?
Yeah.
Does love have an expiration date?
No. Real love don't die.
Could you double back? Could you spin the block?
The person I am now, nah. Me personally, my mental is too much energy that I don't like. If I'm focused on trying to be an artist and a father, I don't need it then. If it's gonna bother anything that got to do with my happiness, my mental, or me losing myself as a human, I don't need it.
OG told me once, if it costs you your peace, it's too expensive.
Another challenge is that I've become accustomed to being alone. After several years of singleness, I've developed routines. I make plans without consulting someone. I come and go as I please. My schedule is my schedule. My space is my space. My peace is my peace. And after years of living this way, bringing another person into that rhythm would require significant adjustments, not just physically, not just emotionally, but also mentally. Anyone who has spent a long time single understands this. And at some point, independence stops being something you practice and it becomes something you're wired for.
I've been single for so long, I genuinely don't know how to relationship anymore. Like, I've completely forgotten what people even do in relationships aside of intimacy. And talking to men feels weird to me now. Being alone with a man feels weird. The idea of even constantly talking to someone every day just feels unnatural to me. And I think at some point, being alone stops feeling lonely and becomes a part of your normal. And every time someone tries to get close to me now, my brain is like, oh, excuse me, what are you doing here every day? And honestly, I'm not sure whether I've gotten too comfortable being alone, or I've just got too used to protecting my own peace. I don't know. Anyway, that's where my head's at today. This guy's looking at me like I'm crazy, talking to the camera.
Here's another uncomfortable truth. I sometimes worry about bringing someone into what I jokingly call my crazy world. You know what? Everyone has issues. Everybody has struggles. Everyone has wounds. But I've often wondered, why would I ask someone else to take on mine? Especially when she may already be carrying plenty of burdens herself. That fear isn't hypothetical because I've experienced rejection before because of my issues. And when you've been hurt in that way, it leaves a mark. It creates hesitation, it creates caution, and sometimes it creates walls.
There's, I think, a lot of people that have a hard time showing up in relationships like as a liability, being a burden. I need to lift it up in order for it to exist. Just think for a second, like, what would it feel like to enter a relationship to know that there's going to be this moment of you being a liability? Like, if that scares you to your core, there's something there that needs to be worked on. And it is because relationships are not just about uplifting and solutions. They're about you existing in your inherent worth. Attunement is just as important as like using the bathroom and drinking water. Because I've worked with people in relationships where the moment that they finally open up about this big issue that seems like the main reason why their relationship is not working. We can't have kids. She doesn't want this or he doesn't want that. It's like the moment that they finally word vomit all of that, something in the room changes and slowly all those logistical issues that seem to be the problem fade away just a bit, and then connection starts to happen. You've been in a relationship with someone and you haven't used the bathroom in 6 months. Like, of course you're going to feel pretty crappy, and your mind is going to try to create meaning out of that sense of discomfort outside of what it actually is. And you're going to say, well, I just think that, you don't have enough money or something weird like that.
Now let's add another layer. You see, I deal with social anxiety. And I've been dealing with it for about 25 years. Some days leaving the house requires a pep talk. Um, Dating experts often say just put yourself out there. But that's easier said than done when anxiety is involved. For some people, meeting new people is exciting. For others, it's exhausting. And when social anxiety enters into the equation, dating can feel less like an adventure and more like a full time job.
If you have social anxiety and you're trying to date, you have to be really careful about this trap. Be careful that you don't simply fall for someone because they show interest in you. Because a lot of times when we have social anxiety, we just want to be liked. And that feeling of feeling liked and being liked makes us feel on top of the world. But that clouds us because we forget that it is just as important that we like them. We are interviewing them as much as they are interviewing us. So don't get too caught up in whether or not they like you. That is important, obviously, but it's more important that you like them.
Another concern I have is very simple. I don't want to be used, period. Every day we hear stories about people who believed they have found, quote, the one, then everything falls apart. Sometimes it's financial betrayal. Sometimes it's emotional manipulation. Sometimes it's dishonesty. And yes, I know every relationship doesn't end badly. But when you've seen enough heartbreak, caution begins to feel like wisdom. You become protective, you become selective, you become slower to trust.
You have to learn the difference between someone valuing you as a person and someone valuing you as a resource. Sometimes the difference isn't obvious. A person can show that they care, they appreciate you, they even give you affection, but that doesn't always mean the relationship is rooted in genuine connection. When someone sees you mainly as a resource, the relationship revolves around what you can provide. That could be emotional support, advice, stability, money, connections, convenience, or even just the way you make them feel about themselves. They may reach out regularly. They lean on you heavily during difficult times. They rely on you to solve the problems. In those moments, it can feel like closeness and trust. In relationships built on genuine connection, there is mutual presence. That person enjoys being around you even when there's nothing to gain. Conversations are not only about their problems or their needs. There's genuine curiosity about your life, what you have going on, your feelings about things, your experiences. A relationship exists because both people value the bond itself, not only what comes from it. It can feel confusing because people are still going to say, oh, they care about you. And in their own way, yeah, they do care and love you. But they love what you do for them. They care how you serve in their life. But outside of that role, they don't really care. Start observing patterns. Do they show up for you? Do they engage with you when you're struggling? Do they just spend time with you? Not only when there's a problem to solve. Do they respect your boundaries? Or do they become distant and frustrated when you enforce them? Healthy relationships have reciprocity. Both people give, both people receive. Both people feel valued. Pay attention to whether the connection deepens when you are simply being yourself, or if it only strengthens when you are serving a role in someone's life.
Now, perhaps the biggest realization I've had is this: I value my peace a whole lot. Peace has become one of the most valuable commodities in my life. I guard it carefully because peace is very expensive. Many people lose it in unhealthy relationships. Many people sacrifice it in trying to force connections that were never meant to be. So when I evaluate the possibility of dating again, I'm not asking, will this make me happy? I'm asking, will this disturb my peace? And that's a very different question. Yet, despite all of that, the loneliness still exists. There are moments when this apartment feels too quiet, moments when there's nobody to share a joke with, nobody to sit beside, nobody to simply be present. And that's the tension many single people live with. We enjoy our freedom, but we can still long for connection.
One thing you got to learn how to do before you leave this earth is learn how to be alone. And I'm not just talking about relationships. I'm talking about friends, family, all of it. Because some people stay surrounded by noise their whole life just so they never have to sit with themselves. See, being alone will introduce you to you, your real character, your habits, your attitude, the traits you carry that nobody else notices because you always got distractions around you. When you are alone, you start realizing what actually makes you happy. You learn what bothers you. You learn what triggers you. What needs healing. You find out if you truly love yourself or if you just love attention and company. A lot of people jump from relationship to relationship, from friendship to friendship, because silence makes them uncomfortable. But baby, solitude will grow you. It'll humble you. It'll strengthen you. And once you learn how to enjoy your own company, people can no longer manipulate you with their presence because now you're choosing people out of peace, not loneliness. Okay, you following? Okay
Now, what the research says now, what's interesting is that these feelings aren't unusual. And if you look at this infographic right here, I'm not going to read everything, but loneliness is widespread. If you start from the left, 1 in 3 U.S. adults report feeling lonely, and 1 in 4 adults lack adequate social and emotional support. And it says strong social connections are linked to better health, longer life, and lower stress. Y'all let me know in the comments how y'all feel about that. To the next one, loneliness takes a toll on health. Higher level of loneliness were associated with significantly poorer mental and physical health outcomes. And individuals reporting chronic loneliness experience more days of poor mental health and poor physical health each month. And it says loneliness isn't just a feeling, it's linked to real, measurable health risks. Tell me, do you agree or disagree? On to the next one. Independence is valued, but loneliness remains. Nearly 4 in 10 adults in America say they sometimes feel lonely. Americans value their independence and time alone, but many still long for deeper social connections and meaningful relationships. So it says that we may enjoy independence, but humans are still wired for connections. And to the last one, social connection is critical for well-being. Strong connection is consistently linked to better health, lower risk of chronic disease, and greater longevity. It says here that nurturing relationships is one of the most powerful ways to protect our health. And the sources is the CDC, Loneliness and Health Outcome Research, and of course the Pew Research Centers and the Social Connection Health Outcome Review. So, tell us what you think. Do you agree or do you disagree with these statistics? And the bottom line is this, though. Maybe the answer isn't rushing into a relationship. Maybe the answer isn't swearing off relationships forever either. Maybe the answer is continuing to heal, continue to grow, continuing to become the healthiest version of ourselves possible. And if love comes along, we'll be better prepared to receive it. But until then, there's nothing wrong with being honest about where we are. Now, on a personal note, I miss companionship. I miss affection. I miss dating. But I also value my peace. And right now, I'm learning how to hold on to both truths at the same time. What say you? Let us know in the comments section. Thank you for listening. Take care and be blessed.